All right. So it is time. It is time. It is time. Hello, 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 and welcome to I Don't Do Coasters. I am your hostess with the mostest, theme park drama queen, and today was a struggle. Oh my goodness. This is a late night one. I'm probably going to be here talking to myself because this was supposed to be at 7 o'clock, and I was going to try to do it at Carowinds. During Scarowinds, I was going to try to be on location, but the universe had other plans. So I had a lot to go, I had a lot to go through today, and let me see. Had to wake up early. Had to plan to take my brother to work, but I couldn't find the keys this morning because apparently cars are so fancy now. My key comes into two parts. One is the key fob part, and the other is the actual key part. And so with the key fob part, the battery went dead. And so you would think, okay, so you have the key part, so you can use the key part. You can use the key part to get into the vehicle, but you can't use the key part to actually start the vehicle. You use the key fob. And I looked through the manual to see how I could operate the key. I'm sorry, the car with just the key. Well, surprise, surprise, you can't. So, my brother had to get my mother to take him early this morning. He was nearly late, unfortunately. But I eventually found the key fob. Even though the key fob was dead, you put it in a slot because the whole car's remote control. You put it in a slot and it'll start the key. It'll start the car. I guess that there, whatever's in the remote, there's something in that key slot or whatever that's magnetic or on a RDIF or some fancy thing or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, um I can't start my car without it. So there's that. And then I work, and so I did some work today. Um then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop my work, about 5 o'clock so I can get done to Carowinds, set up and all that good stuff. Well, everything was going swimmingly until I got until I got to Carowinds. Had a wonderful time talking to a screener, security screener. Um, I think her name was Shri, I think she was a lovely woman. She also does YouTube here. So she and I started following each other. We started talking. We started having a good old time. I enjoyed our conversation. And then she looked and she said, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Oh, you have like 15 minutes to get into Carowinds." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna be here for Carowinds." Then she was like, "Oh, that yeah, when I have a Carowinds tonight." What? But she said, "But you got 15 minutes." So I went there and I was like, "Okay, I got 15 minutes." Okay. And so went there for my little 15 minutes, did some quick footage or whatever. I had everything set up, looking cute, everything, Halloween gear, everything. Only for it not to happen. Then I was like, okay, we're going to turn lemons into lemonade. So I was like, okay, so I'm either going to go ahead and go to one of the restaurants that's not far from Carowinds. There's a Cracker Barrel, a Twin Peaks, and I think a couple of Mexican restaurants, and a Wendy's. So those are my choices for restaurants. So I went to one restaurant, I think the Mexican restaurant, and they started closing because now everything closes early. I think they're still on COVID time. And then I went to Twin Peaks and I asked them if they could seat me where there's a plug or outlet. And the young lady was like, "Well, there's really no place to sit." And I said, "Well, I was here not long ago, and they sat me. in a booth that had a plug, but some people were sitting there. So she said, but at the bar, there's a plug. And I was like, that's behind the bar, isn't it? She said, yes. And nah, that's going to be inconvenient. So I had another idea. And I was like, let's go ahead and go to the hotel. The Spring Hill Hotel that's on Carowind's property. It's new. It's beautiful. I was like, let's see if they have a restaurant. Well, get there. Lo and behold, there's no restaurant. They only do breakfast. They don't do dinner. So then at this point, I'm like, I can go to the Cracker Barrel, but I'm pretty sure either Cracker Barrel's closed or they won't have a plug. And so I was like, let me go home. So now I'm home. But I had to also take my brother to go take care of some business, eat some food, and now I'm here. And I understand my thing was scheduled for 7. I'm just not getting started at 10, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10:15, I started. That's 3 hours late. Folks will see this. And hopefully, I will be putting this podcast on some other type of platform so people can see it. But people will see it on YouTube. So I am not, um, I am not upset that, I'm gonna be here by myself. So if people come on in, great. If they don't come on in, great. People will see it eventually. So on to the podcast. I am your hostess with the most, esteemed park drama queen, and this is I Don't Do Coasters. This is a podcast for people who would rather stay safely on the ground and eat churros and ice cream and popcorn and Mickey bars instead of going on the top thrill coasters. Yes. So, the topic for tonight is, and this was given to me by somebody that I used to know about why I do not like coasters. They were like, why don't you like coasters? Tell us a little bit about that. It's a long, sordid story, honestly. But for me, picture it. 1980. Yes, back in the 1900s. I mean, everyone seems to think that coasters, not everyone, but most people seem to think that coasters are the greatest thing on earth. I do not. For me, coasters means trauma. Let's start with the trauma. I mean, the origin story. I was really little, probably about 8 or whatever. And probably a cousin no longer speak to convinced me to ride a coaster. As a matter of fact, it was at this place called Nunley's. I'm from Long Island, New York, and Nunley's was this little theme park, very teeny tiny theme park. It had a carousel that I remember. It had a few other little rides, and it had a coaster, a small coaster, but a coaster. And so, from what I remember, my mother put me on a coaster because mm, um we went with my cousins and my aunt, and my cousins wanted to get on the coaster. And so my mom was like, "Yeah, let's put the kids on the coaster." Although the coaster was a small coaster, this is where my dislike of roller coasters began. With this one little roller coaster. Had I had time enough to put some visuals on this podcast, I would have. Maybe next time I'll do it. I don't know how to do that yet. The person who actually was training me to do my podcast, we're no longer friends. So I gotta find a new friend or somebody or Google or YouTube and figure out how to do all the things. And I definitely will because I'm every woman and I am smart. So we will get that part started. But yes, Nunley. And so my mom puts me in the car and my cousins get in the car and my brother. At this time it was just me and my brother Ronald. We have a younger brother named Eric, but I don't think Eric was born just yet. And so she puts us in the car with my cousins and stuff, and then, you know, the ride starts. I get anxiety, and then it starts, and I start screaming my little lungs out. My cousins think it's the funniest thing. My brother thinks it's the funniest thing, but I don't think it's the funniest thing. I am terrorized right now. And so we get off, and I'm like, I do not want to get on a roller coaster ever again. I do not like this. And then this was a little kiddie roller coaster. And so I remember that we ended up going on the carousel. I love the carousel. I love the carousel. The carousel soothes me even to this day as an adult. I love the carousel. Um, but coasters, not so much. Then picture it. 1990, still the 1900s. I get old enough to go on bigger rides, and so there's bigger coasters. And so again on Long Island, there was this um theme park. I forgot what it was called, but it had carnival rides and stuff like that. And so I remember it was just me, my mom, my brother Ronald, and Eric, and no cousins this time. And so we get on the Ferris wheel. I'm already afraid of heights. I don't like heights. So we get on Ferris wheel, and the guy that runs the Ferris wheel decides to play a trick on me. He had a little football, and apparently he must have heard how nervous I was when I was talking to my brother about how nervous I was to get on this Ferris wheel. And so we get into the Ferris wheel, and then the guy, thinking that it's so funny, tosses the football. Now I don't know this at the time because my back is turned towards him. Tosses the football towards me to hit me. I'm thinking something's falling down. Then he starts the ride. Yeah, I'm already not feeling very good. Then we get off of the ride. My brother wants to go on a roller coaster. I'm like, I'm not getting on a roller coaster. And so we get on another fast ride, and my daggone nerves are already shot. And then he talks me into getting on this roller coaster with him. And so I'm like, I'm not getting on the roller coaster. My brother's like, okay, I'll ride it first and I'll tell you how it is. Okay. He does that. And then he says, the roller coaster's fine. It's not scary. It's fine. It's not scary. And I'm like, okay. I get in the car with him. And then the guy straps us into the roller coaster, pulls down the harness and all this good stuff. And right before the man starts the roller coaster, my brother says, guess what? I was like, what? He said, I lied! This is scary! I start screaming and I'm like, let me off, let me off, let me off, let me off. I start screaming and panicking and oh, it's a scene. And the ride operator comes and like, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? I said, I want off, I want off, I want off. He said, you're already strapped in. I said, get me off. He says, if you don't get me off, I'm going to kick your butt if you start this. Oh, I was a mess. He let me off. And so I was just terrible. And so I just didn't know. Just no. No, no. Then picture it. Still the 1990s, 1994. And this is the year that I graduate high school. And so one of my presents for my family, besides a gold Mickey Mouse watch, was a trip to Walt Disney World. And so we go to Walt Disney World, and my brothers want to get on Big Thunder Mountain at Magic Kingdom. Now, Magic Kingdom is um my most favorite park in Walt Disney World. It's my most favorite. I love it. What I don't love is the roller coaster. And so my brothers wanted to get on Big Thunder Mountain, and my parents were the type of people, they did not. They always had to hover. They always had to know where we were. Always had to watch us. And my dad, he didn't get on any rides. He always said that his back would hurt or whatever, because he did have a back injury or whatever. But that was his. He didn't want to ride nothing. And only thing my dad would get on was It's a Small World, and even that was too much for him, because he was always worried about his back. And so, but he told my mom, he said, "Hey, if you don't get on it, they can't get on it." My mom was terrified of roller coasters as well, but she would get on it anyway. And so because my brothers wanted to get on the roller coasters, my mother got on the roller coaster, and then she made me get on the roller coaster. And I'm like, I don't want to get on the roller coaster. We're gonna go sit with daddy. And so my mom was like, "No, you're going on a roller coaster with us." So I would get on the roller coaster. I would sit with my mom, and we would be, and I'd be holding on to her, and she's trying to put on a brave face. My two brothers, they're like behind us, just having a great old time. They're daredevils or whatever. Um, and when Big Thunder Mountain starts, that's when my mouth flew open and started screaming. And me and my mom, like when you go up the lift hill. Now that's where I get the most anxiety, the lift hill. Oh my goodness. And once that does this turn or whatever and goes so fast, that's when my mouth flew open, my mom's mouth flew open. We were both screaming and hollering and holding on to each other. And every other year we would go to Walt Disney World as a family, Magic Kingdom, and she and I would do it all over again. She's the only person, honestly, that I would get on a roller coaster with. I've gotten on it with, I think, my friend Heather, because she and I and our other friend, who was an ex-friend of ours, her name was Delmy. We all took a trip down to Walt Disney World together when I was still in the military, and we rode Big Thunder Mountain, and that's really the only time I can really remember really having a good time. Our mouths flew open still, having a good time on a roller coaster, and I would always try to get on Big Thunder Mountain. That was like the only roller coaster that I would trust. For some reason, I don't know why, because I don't like them. I just don't like them. And long story short, fast forward to now. I still don't like them. I do not like them. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have Carowinds. It's located in North and South Carolina. We have the world's biggest, tallest giga coaster in the world, Fury, which is like our crown jewel here in the Carolinas. We're so proud that we have the tallest, biggest, fastest giga coaster in the world. People come from all over to ride it, but you will not get me on it. Carowinds has several rides. We used to be owned by Paramount, by Paramount. I used to work down there, and that's when I came in when it was underneath Paramount, and I had a great time working for them. Still didn't ride the roller coasters. Um, then it changed over to Cedar Fair. I worked underneath Cedar Fair, still didn't ride no roller coaster. And now it's under Six Flags, and Six Flags is known for its humongous um, roller coasters. Cedar Fair is too. As a matter of fact, Cedar Fair, I think Fury came in under Cedar Fair, I believe. Um, and we also have we have a few other roller coasters down at Carowinds too. Copperhead Strike, Carolina Cyclone, which is one of the older ones. We also have the Hurler, which is a throwback from I think the 1980s, maybe early 90s, I want to say, when that section of Carowinds used to be patterned after an old classic movie called Wayne's World. Excellent. I can't believe, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that Wayne's World is a classic. It is a classic. Classics are supposed to be black and white movies, not movies I grew up with as a kid and a teenager. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the hurler still stands. Um, we also have now I might call some of these roller coasters their old names, um, because they changed. There's one that's called the Intimidator. It used to be called the Intimidator, but now I think it's called Top Thrill. Wait a minute. Let me see. I got my computer in front of me. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm gonna tell y'all some of the other coasters that they have. Um, Carolyn coasters. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. We have Afterburn, which is patterned after Top Gun. Um, the Carolina Cyclone that I just told you about. The Carolina Gold Rusher, which is Oh, hey, Delana! Welcome in. Hi. Welcome, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in. You're just rambling on. I didn't expect nobody else to come because it's so late. But welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you. I was just talking about the different coasters that we have at Carowinds here in North and South Carolina that I do not get on. We have the Carolina Gold Rusher, which is our version of. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you. Um, Carolina Gold Rusher, which is our version of Big Thunder Mountain. I have gotten on that one. The last time I got on it, the last drop spooked me, and I have not been on it since, and that's been a long time ago. We also have Copperhead Strike, which is a unique entry coaster. And at some point, when I'm down there at Carowinds, I'm probably going to go over some of the history of some of these coasters. Um, even though it's something that I don't like, it is something that fascinates me. I like to see other people ride these things and enjoy them. I don't necessarily enjoy them, but I like to see other people ride them. And then, of course, we have Fury 325. And then there are some other smaller ones that are in the children's area. We have one in that's the Snoopy train one that just opened. We have a couple of Snoopy ones, and there's another big. I think I would call it like a tween coaster at Camp Snoopy. So, and I won't get on that. Now I'm gonna try that new train one. I'm gonna try that. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. And a couple of years ago, two friends, well, one ex-friend and one, I think he's still my friend. I hope he is. He's such a sweet guy. Um, talked me into getting on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom. I was like, okay, bet. My ex-friend was like, we're gonna try to get you over your fear. We're gonna start you off slow. And I was like, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train? Okay, that's I thought it was slow. I thought it was a slow one. I tried to prepare for it and watch like several different like YouTube videos about it to try to prepare myself, you know? And it looked like it was like a coaster, no drops, no, just a turn or what. Man, they call that a family coaster, a kids coaster. There's nothing kiddie about that coaster. I always get made fun of when I say that when I was calling on Jesus on that ride, because first of all, it goes hella fast. At least to me it does. Because when the car came whipping through to pick us up, um, me and one of the guys got in the car, and I'm looking at it, when it's coming to pull through, it's going hella fast. I'm like, why is it going this fast? It's just coming to get. It's supposed to be like a little slow, you know. But no, it was like, hello, I'm here to get you. I was like, I don't know. And I had second thoughts. I was like, I think I'm going to not do this. But my ex friend, because now that I think about it, he's my ex friend, right? And the way that our friendship broke up was crazy and strange, right? I'm really thinking that maybe he was not really my friend at all, and he just wanted to torture me and knew I was hella scared of a roller coaster because he thought it was freaking funny that I was so like jolted by the Seven Dwarfs mine train. So maybe he wasn't my friend at all. But I digress. So get in the car. Ex-friend doesn't get on it. I was mad at first, but then he explained to me why he doesn't get on it. Okay, bet. That's understandable. Me and the other friend, we get on it, and I'm like, God, please let me survive this. Okay. Then the car takes off, and I'm sitting here thinking, this is when Ro knew she done fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that first lift hill, I thought about jumping out the car. I am not going to lie. I used to do a series on my TikTok called "Do Not Do This in the Parks." I was about to be on my own episode of "Do Not Do This in the Parks" and probably banned for life. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is. If this is the way that I meet the Lord, so be it. So yes, um, got on it, screamed the whole way through, called on Jesus the whole way through. It takes my friend, who I think is still my, I hope he's still my friend because he's still friends with my ex friends group, and they all just follow each other, um, and all of that. You know, when one person uh unfollows somebody, the other person unfollows. I mean, they have hive mind. They don't. I hope Nelly doesn't have a hive mind. He still follow me on TikTok, so I hope so. He's a sweet guy. I hope he has a mind of his own because he should know me. You know, no matter what these other people do or say, he should know me. And it takes him to tell the story because he was there with me to tell the story of how I was screaming and calling on Jesus on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is supposed to be a kiddie roller coaster. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting on any like big roller coasters like that for quite some time. At least I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe with tequila. Maybe with my nieces and my great nephews. Maybe with them. They. I know that my nieces they love roller coasters. They're daredevils like their dad. My great nephews I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they're like big boys. They're like 16 years old. The girls 16, 13, and 8. Um, me and the 8-year old can hang, but the 13 and 16, man, they will have me on everything. No. But yeah, to me, a roller coaster is a torture device. It is there's nothing pleasurable about a roller coaster to me. I like to sit I like to sit and go on the little slow moving rides. I like dark rides. I like the ones like Voyage of the Little Mermaid, where you roll past and you see little things dancing, and it's a slow stroll. I like It's a Small World After All. Even though that is the world's most annoying song, it gets stuck in your head, and it's probably stuck in your head right now. You're welcome. Um, I enjoy going on It's a Small World. I really, really do. That ride brings me joy and comfort. I like going on in the animal kingdom, the little safari that they have. I like doing that. I at Carowinds, I like getting on there is a little boat ride in the children's area. I like to ride that. It looks tame, but it's not. But I like it. It doesn't take you in the air. It just spins you around real fast and is really, really fun. Um, I like the little raft ride at Charlie Brown's um ra- Charlie Brown's River Raft Run or something like that at Carowinds. It's brand new as well. I enjoy that. I can't enjoy it now because now it's too cold and you get soaking wet on it. But when it is very, very hot, it's a delightful ride to be on. I enjoy the carousel, like I said earlier, at the beginning of this podcast episode. I will sit and I will hold your purse. Any of my daredevil friends that love to go on that crazy stuff, I'll say I'll hold your purse. You don't need no locker. I'm your locker. And I'm just like, they're like, you're not getting on it. No, I'm not. And the thing about it is, people who love roller coasters, if you don't get on a roller coaster with them, they feel as if you have betrayed them. They're like, you paid money to get in here and you're not gonna ride it. I sure did. I'm not getting on that. I already told you what I like to do. When I meet new people, if they like going to theme parks, I tell them I love going to theme parks too. I just don't ride roller coasters. Don't try to get me on it. Don't try to talk me on it. I will not let anybody else get me on or talk me on a roller coaster, especially if I know I'm scared of it. I'm not going to do that. Peer pressure is a hell of a drug, but you know what? I'm in AA now. So absolutely not. So that is my history on why I do not like roller coasters. There's probably more to it, but I probably don't remember. I probably blocked it out. But yeah, the moral of the story is if you are a coaster chicken like me and you are going with people that try to get you on rides or bully you on rides, you stand your ground firmly and you say, I'm a proud coaster chicken, and if you don't like me for who I am, too bad, because I ain't getting on it. Well, this has been I Do Not Do Coasters. I am your host, Theme Park Drama Queen. Thank you so much, Valorna, for coming. I really appreciate you. This will be on YouTube for everyone's viewing pleasure. And at some point, I am going to put these episodes, I'm going to try to get them on some type of other podcast platforms where it's just mainly, it's just audio, like Apple Music or iHeartRadio or something like that. I'm still just getting used to learning all of this. Hopefully, I will learn more, and I am, because if I'm going to do this, I have to learn. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn. Hopefully, my next podcast, these are just monthly podcasts for right now, because, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you love it and enjoying it. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me, Verlorna. Thank you. Um, right now, I'm still battling some health issues. So right now, I can only handle 1 month at a time podcast, and today was so chaotic. I am glad I don't have a stage manager because my behind would have been fired today. It's like shows aren't happening. I am a one woman band here. I am the writer, producer, director, stage manager, all of that of this podcast and my TikTok. So, and I just got, news, good news, fun fact. I just got signed on with an agency for TikTok to do TikTok live. So I am so happy about that. And at some point, when I can do two things at one time, I'm going to do the podcast both here on YouTube and on TikTok because you can do that. I have a laptop and I have my phone. So when I'm able to pay attention to two things at once, thank you, Verlana. I appreciate that. Then yeah, I will do it on both. So um that might be in November when I do both. Um hopefully maybe September, we'll see. But I think I'm going to give myself 1 more month to learn all of this, and then we'll get to go in and try to do double duty. So we'll see. So good things to come, good things to come, and so good things to come. So I enjoy doing this. I really, really do. I am an actor, entertainer, and I've been trying to figure out how to get my art and what I like to do. I love to entertain people. I've been a children's entertainer for several years, theme park entertainer for a few years down at Carowinds. I was even with Radio Disney with their promo team for I think about 2 years or a year and a half, one of them. Even did a radio show when I was in college. called the Veterans Corner. That's where I was trying to get a radio career together, but it just didn't happen. But God has brought this into my life, and never in a million years did I ever think that I would be a TikTok content creator because I thought that was for little children, and it was just for dancing, kids just doing little dances, and I was like, I'm too old to be doing little dances like that. Apparently, I'm not. There's a lot of folks my age and older that's on TikTok, and I thank the Lord for it. So I am glad for my journey, and I'm so glad that I can be here doing this podcast and learning and hopefully growing. So we'll see where this goes. And Rolana, I so thank you. Thank you so much. Rolana is someone that I grew up with in New York. We went to high school together, and she and I were in the theater club together, which started me started me in entertainment. So yes, I so appreciate you supporting me and being here, Valana. Thank you so very much. All right, so I had a very busy day, and I gotta work tomorrow because I have a young lady that is turning 16 years old in a couple of days, and Auntie needs to get her a present. So Auntie's gotta work so I can get her a present because she is 16 and you only turn 16 once. And Auntie loves to spoil her little princess, and that's what I want to do. So I gotta go make that money. All right. Well, thank you so much, and have a great night. And remember, I don't do coasters. So don't even ask me to get on one. All right. Love you. Love you, Rolanda. Thank you. Have a great one. Good night.